That was the song that really started the whole album. I was in my shower in New York City, and uncharacteristically, you know, many times a song for me starts with a chord progression or a word, but this one, I was in my shower and I literally heard the phrase, "There's a revolution inside my heart." In my head, I heard the melody, I heard the phrase, and I ran out of my shower and almost slipped across my floor and sat down at my piano and started to try to write this. But sometimes with songwriting, it's about working backwards. So I had the line about the heart, but that's really the third line of the song. So I thought, well, there's a revolution in my heart, but what is the story? What's the story that's bigger than that? And I started to backtrack, and I thought, well, there's sort of this duality between, you know, an internal revolution and a real revolution. And so there was this idea of there's a revolution inside my head, there's a revolution inside my hands, and sort of how a relationship can take your heart and your mind through a revolution of its own, and comparing it to a battlefield, because so much of our lives is sort of at times, you know, so much of our lives do feel like, you know, battles on a daily basis. So I had sort of worked and struggled to get that song within a couple days working, but I remember having a conversation with my manager and saying, you know, I think I'm going to make this album sort of like my last album or my album before. And he said to me, why would you want to do that? You know, why not make an album that's different? And I thought, what could be more different than using this Casio keyboard that I found at a thrift store across the street from my house, which was about 35 bucks. And my girlfriend at the time said, what are you going to do with that? You know, you're a jazz piano player. And I said, I do not know. And then when I wrote Revolution, I realized what I was going to do with it. A songwriter never really knows how the songs that we write late at night, disturbing our neighbors by ourselves, will resonate with people. And a lot of the songs on this album, Revolution, were really almost love letters and tone poems and emails to myself about thoughts and experiences along the way. And I assembled a lot of them at my piano in New York City.
Revolution features Andy Summers of the Police. How did he come to be on the record?
I don't think it's a secret that the Police were probably the most pivotal band for me coming up as a musician, even though I was a jazz musician. And a number of the members of the Police were jazz musicians at one time. So I think pulling from that jazz lineage idea of always trying to work with your forefathers. You know, pop music tends to have people trying to work with current artists, but for me it was always about trying to work with the people that had inspired me along the way. And Andy was definitely one of the most influential musicians for me. So years ago, I think it was 1997, we ended up on a JVC Jazz Festival together in New York City. And I was sitting at the piano just kind of working some things out, and he appeared and said, oh, you know, that sounds really nice. And for me it was one of the biggest validations in my career. And this is many years before the Police had reformed. He was just a working jazz musician at that time, and we struck up a friendship and a camaraderie. And I was very emboldened by the fact that he decided to come out in 2008 and appear on Let It Go, and then this record as well. So it's been a friendship more than anything.
Been compared with quite a few people. There's Bruce Hornsby, Billy Joel at times, even Leonard Cohen. Do any of those names strike a resonance for you? Who do you listen to when you're listening to music?
Well, obviously being compared to giants like that is a huge thrill for me. I think that if I do draw comparisons to them, I think it's just about trying to have integrity in the songs I write, with the music and with the lyrics, trying to find a common thread that really resonates with me. I think that what I tried to do throughout my career was make music that I could stand behind regardless of how it was received. And I think that those are people that have had arcs in their career as well, and the common thread has been making the music the focus, not all the external validation or you know, other accolades that you do or don't get when you release music. I mean, for me, if I can stand to listen to my record when it's released, I think the job has been done. The rest, I have no idea what will happen.